Yeah, it's pretty amazing. 850 yards. It's crazy that you can hit with any amount of consistency a target that far with the muzzleloader. Pretty cool. But I'm not just a shooter. I'm a hunter. Maybe not a very good one, but I like to do it. And so with that comes a certain amount of responsibility and a little accountability. Just because we can hit that plate at 850 yards doesn't mean we should probably be shooting animals that far. This bullet that we're using is not designed to perform at the velocity that it'll be at 850 yards. So as hunters, we need to educate ourselves on the projectiles or the bullets that we're using and make sure that we're staying within the limits that the manufacturer set on those particular bullets. There are so many kinds of bullets available today that picking one becomes somewhat of a challenge. So take for instance this muzzleloader bullet that we're using. It's a 325 grain projectile. It's got a nice aluminum tip on it. And through our studies, we found that this thing will still get some expansion in that 13 to 1400 foot per second range. Now we haven't been able to shoot it fast enough to see what it does on the high end. I mean, our max velocity with this bullet's around 2400 feet per second. So still getting good expansion at 1400 feet per second. Like this next bullet, it works very good at the slower velocities. I think you could still get some expansion in that 12 to 1300 foot per second range. But this bullet's not designed to shoot or impact at speeds over 3,000 feet per second. That's kind of the max range. All these bullets are designed to perform on different targets at different speeds. The manufacturer has done this on purpose. There's different targets that need to be addressed with different projectiles. And so pairing up the right bullet with the right speed and the right game that you're after is pretty important. So I've got a couple drop charts printed off our G7.com website. You can do the same thing. All you need is your ballistic coefficient, your muzzle velocity, and then the environmental conditions where you're going to be testing. Input your data, hit the calculate button, and it'll print off a drop chart for you that will show you the different speeds at different yardages. And so just like this muzzleloader bullet that we're shooting, we're still getting that good performance in that 1400 foot per second range. If I look at my drop chart, that puts me kind of at a max range at like 550 yards at this temperature and altitude. So what that does is it basically sets a parameter for me, a limit that says, hey, if I'm going to feel confident in this bullet working, I need to kind of limit that shot to that 550 yard mark, which is very doable with this muzzleloader. To show you kind of on the other side of that thing, I've printed out a drop chart of our 7 LRM, our 7 long range Magnum. We're shooting a 180 grain hollow point type bullet with a very good ballistic coefficient. Now that bullet's going to work down in that 1300, 1200 feet per second range again. But what that does is that puts my max range with that BC and that muzzle velocity. That's going to put my max range out around 1400 yards. And so again, you've got a limit that you've set by using the manufacturer specifications on their bullets, your own field testing, and then using your drop chart to figure out what is my max range with this bullet and how it's going to perform at those distances. And so different bullets, you can get a little further, different BCs, and different bullets work at different speeds. And so what I encourage every hunter to do is take the time to do the research, go to the manufacturer's website, do some research on the bullet that you're using. If they don't have the specifications publicized there, then give them a call and ask them, hey, what is the optimum speeds that this bullet's going to work at? Get that information, go to the G7.com website, use the ballistics app, figure out what your max distance is, and then stay within your limits. Give those animals the respect they need. And what that's going to do for you is give you confidence in your bullet, and it's going to make you a more ethical hunter. I'm Mike Davidson with Gunwerks. Join us again as soon as you can for another tip right here on Long Range Pursuit.